perfectly seasoned, a nice crust. We are talking about a ribeye steak. How to cook the perfect ribeye steak. I'm Chef Winston, and welcome to Floribbean Cuisine. Class is in session. When I first started my YouTube channel about 9-10 years ago, I did a similar video on how to cook the perfect ribeye steak. Now, I'm gonna recreate this with a little twist. Back then, up until now, that video has gotten a lot of views, but this is the recreation of that video, and you guys are gonna really enjoy this here. So let's talk about the ribeye steak. I've got me a nice cut of ribeye steak here. A bone in. You can do without the bone, but I've got a nice piece of ribeye steak with a bone in. And when you're dealing with this here to cook a perfect ribeye steak, first thing you need to make sure, pull it out of the refrigerator. Let it sit at room temperature. Why? If you take a cold piece of steak and you want to get a nice sear and a nice crust on it after you season it, once you take the cold steak and put it to a hot pan, you're dropping the temperature of the hot pan, and what you're doing is creating steam. We don't want steam. You want to create a nice, bold, flavorful crust with the seasoning. So please, take it out of the refrigerator, let it set, get the chill out of it at room temperature. Now, when you're going to buy your steak, you look at the thickness that you're picking up. Make sure it's even around. If you like it thick, make sure it's a nice, thick piece that's evenly cut. And you want to look at the marbling. Marbling is the fat that runs through that steak. Fat is moisture. That's what you're looking for. This one here, this is the best one I could have found at the grocery store at the time. This will do. This have some nice fat in it. We're gonna chop this up and make this here a nice masterpiece. So follow me on this. So now on to seasoning your ribeye steak. What I like to do is get some oil, and I'm gonna smother this, not smother, smear some oil on top of this. What I'm using is some grape seed oil. Put some oil on here and blend it in on both sides. Just like this. Little drizzle. And the reason I'm doing this, right? This is gonna assist the seasoning to adhere to the meat. So once we're seasoning it, that seasoning is not flying off of the meat. You will lose a little, but not as much. So this is a very, very nice step, important step to do. Now, once that's accomplished, you're gonna take some coarse salt. I've got some kosher salt, and you're gonna season this heavenly, just like that, on both sides. Turn it over. Yes. With salt and pepper. Some seasoning the bone and seasoning the sides. And we're gonna mop all of that seasoning up on this. And we're gonna add some pepper. Get some fresh cracked black pepper. Yes, smelling so good. Get this here. Work it in. Turn it over and do both sides. I've got a wonderful seasoning in my gourmet seasoning line. It's steak and burger seasoning. I would have used it on this steak to show you guys, but at the time of filming this episode right here, I was actually sold out. Thank you for those who actually purchased those thus far. But you can get you a bottle as well. It's great. It'll be a great addition to your seasoning line, okay? So now that this is nicely seasoned, we're gonna go ahead and start the searing process. What I'm gonna do is use a cast iron pan. The cast iron pan, I like using that, it retains its heat very well, and when you sear it, it's gonna give it that nice crust that we're looking for. So what I did, I put it in the oven. It's been sitting in the oven for about maybe 20 minutes thus far. We're gonna go and get this, get a towel, take it out. Nice and hot. Cast iron pan is nice and hot. We're gonna touch this with a little bit of grapeseed oil. Not too much. Now, when you're doing a ribeye steak, it will create some smoke. So you have to open the windows, or if you have a good ventilation system, make sure you turn that bad boy on. So what I'm gonna do, I'm taking my steak. When you're resting your steak into a hot pan and you got oil in there, very important to lay it away from you. You lay it towards you, this accidentally slip, and the oil splash up on you, that'll be a bad day. So you don't want that. So always remember, lay it away from you, just like that. Can you hear that sizzle? Ah, just like that. As this is searing, let it sit. Do not disturb it. Let it create that crust. Give it about a good 3.5 to 4 minutes on this side first. And then we're gonna see, okay, what it's looking like. Beautiful. I'm about to turn this. Let's take a look at what this crust, oh yes. This is what we're looking for. Look at that. This is not a very thick cut of steak, so this is gonna cook perfectly. This crust is looking amazing. Take a look at this. This hair is smelling really good. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna continue flavoring this up. So what I got, we're gonna add some fresh garlic. Some fresh garlic to this. Ah, we're adding flavor, making this nice. Fresh garlic, and I'm gonna add some fresh thyme to this. Looking good? You add some fresh thyme. Woo, pop, pop, sizzle, sizzle. That's what we're looking for. So what we're gonna do next now, we're gonna add some butter and we're gonna start basting this. Put some fresh butter to this. And look at this here, baby. This is how we're gonna baste and make this here. Get the butter brown and melt in. Ooh, looking good. This is looking nice, smelling good. I like my steak medium. If you like your steak well done, I don't recommend that, but you do what you like, but a nice medium steak is for me. Now, this is fully cooked in the pan. If you got a thicker piece of cut of steak and it's not fully cooking in the pan, you can stick this in the oven. By sticking it in the oven, it will give you a very evenly cooked piece of meat. And for you to know the temperature of what your steak should be like, for medium, I'm gonna show you guys a nice quick technique. You have two ways. You can get an internal thermometer to check your temperature, or you can check this out. I will show you a little chef secret. Take your hand, this is how us professional chefs can determine how a steak is cooked. If you look at your finger, your hands, take one of your hands, this fleshy part right here underneath the thumb, this is considered a raw meat. This is raw feeling of what a meat would feel like. If you were to take your index finger and your thumb, not pressing too hard, but just lightly pressing, feel that? That's considered rare. Go to your middle finger here and press a little bit. That's considered medium rare. When you go to your ring finger and you continue pressing, you'll see this fleshy part is beginning to get a little tighter. This is considered, your steak is going to medium. And once you go here, it's well done, medium well to well done. So that's a sample of what you can do to test the doneness of your steak. I hope that helped. If the hand test is too complicated for you, that's fine. So just remember, like I said, get you an internal thermometer, something like this. What this does is a digital one. You can stick it inside your meat, and once it's registered, if you like your meat rare, you're looking for this to register at 120 to 125. If you like it to be medium rare, you're looking for it to be at 130 to 135. Medium, 140 to 145. Anything above that is going into medium well and well done. Once this is finished cooking, this butter has been nice and brown, nice brown butter. The herbs are nicely toasted. The garlic is lending its flavors. We put this onto a plate. Wow. And we put the herbs and the garlic and put that butter on there as well. So this right here, ooh, is ready to eat. So the next time you look to do a steak, if you try this method, You can't go wrong. The best way to cook a ribeye steak. I hope you guys learned something along the way with this one. Give this a shot. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and you will know every time, get an alert every time I upload a brand new video, every Tuesday that is. Cheers.